Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paper Guy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And what are we talking about today? You don't have any idea,
No
and that
clue.
makes it the fun part of the show.
Mystery.
I'm going to ask you a question because I've had this problem lately, and I need a little bit of help.
All right.
Just a little bit. How do you rebound from bad buys?
Ooh, that is a good question.
Thank you.
Well, let's see. Let's pretend I had a bad buy today. I get mad at myself.
All right.
I don't think I'd throw this stuff out.
No, you put money into it, yeah.
Probably would put it in a corner. Yeah, I'd have to put it in a corner so I don't see it. It's out of sight, out of mind. Because it's probably something that's not very valuable unless I overpay on really something high end, and then I don't think I would do that. But say you get a great collection or 10,000 car magazines, and it turns out to be less condition than you thought, or it's harder to sell them, or duplicates, or whatever. I think I would just bury them, get them out of sight, out of mind.
That's probably a good idea because I think there are two different kinds of bad buys. I think there's the bad buy, like you were saying, that with the condition isn't what you thought it was, and you're looking at it going, oh, geez, what did I pay $100 for these? What did I pay $1,000 for these? And then there's the other bad buy, which is the buy that's not necessarily bad, but it's a lot of work. It's just a volume of
New Jersey deal.
Mediocre stuff.
Yeah, New Jersey deal for sure.
What have you done with that stuff? Have you done anything with it?
We started listing some of the books out of it, some of the magazines, some of the comics, a little mix of everything. There is some good stuff in there. I certainly will make money. If we were all listed tomorrow, I certainly would make money at some point. It's like I said, it's a slow, long-term thing. Luckily, a lot of the books are going to be on Amazon. Same thing with the comics. I just have to try and weed out the junk instead of just wasting it and have my employees list junk. So I'm going to try and put the better, quick stuff on, or, things that are worth. There is some stuff that are $20, $30, $50 books. Not a lot, or not as much as I'd hoped for, but we'll definitely get that on. At the very least, I'll get my money back, say, in a year or two, which is not great, but it's not great at all. But, but again, I'm taking them off something else that could make me money or even more money to put them on something that they're going to get less money or slower money back, just so I, get out of it, I guess, so to speak.
Well, I bring this up because I went to an estate sale. It's a warehouse sale. And the gentleman had there a whole bunch of video game manuals, catalogs, I don't know what you want to call them.
Yeah.
But they're like the 2-page, 3-page things from Atari 2600, Atari 5200, Atari 7800.
Oh, sounds like good stuff.
Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. A few, like 1 or 2 ColecoVisions.
TRS-80.
Not that old. What came after?
Apple IIe.
There was
Apple
nothing
IIc.
Apple. What was like the first Sega?
The Atom.
What was the first Sega?
It wasn't just Sega.
Oh, was it Sega? Okay.
Sega Saturn, Sega CD.
Yeah, there were a lot of different things, and there were
3DO.
Probably 80 some of them. And he wanted $3 a piece on them.
Okay.
And it was early in the sale. Now, one of the problems with this sale is it's in a metal building, so you have no cell phone service at all. So I'm looking at them, and I'm saying, well, okay, the Ms. Pac-Man, I'm sure that's fairly common. I'm sure the Defender is fairly common. But there's some titles I haven't heard of, et cetera, et cetera. And I was saying, do I want to pick through these or whatever? And it was early, very, very early in the sale, where usually people won't deal.
Right.
And I went up to them, and I've dealt with them before, and I said, what if, I know you want $3 a piece. I said, and I know you've only been open an hour. I understand that. But if I took every one of them, would you be willing to do kind of a fast count when you count through them? In other words, like, I said, because there's a lot of really small pieces in there. And, he goes, yeah, for you, I can do something or other. He goes, I'll count them all up, and then we'll work off of that. He ended up giving them to me for $1.50 a piece. So, not bad. $1.60 a piece, I think I paid for them. So not bad overall.
Yeah.
Then I got home, and I'm trying to list everything at the $20 price point. And I just randomly checked a couple of them, and they seem to go from $5 to $12 each. And I really don't want to lot them up, so I did exactly what you said. They're sitting in a drawer in the basement that I probably will not remember they're there for 5 to 10 years. My thought on that one was it wasn't a bad deal.
Right.
But it isn't something or other that I want to list now. They'll stay listed forever before they sell if I list them at $20 a piece. and they're not going to go down in value. It's something that I think will only go up in value over time.
Sure.
So I did use that exact thing in hiding the items. The other deal that got me thinking about it, because I sat there and I ran my numbers for this year, and we're sitting here filming this middle of March 2022, so you'll probably see this a couple of weeks out. I'm doing very poorly this year on buys that I've made. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm just buying more esoteric things, if I'm buying large lots of things that aren't selling.
Right.
I'm not sure what it is, but I'm losing money at estate sales. I'm losing money, or haven't made any money, I guess would be the way to put it.
Yeah.
I'll give you the perfect example. At estate sales, I've purchased, I believe it was, or I've listed on eBay 255 items from estate sales.
Yeah.
I've sold one.
Wow.
I couldn't do any worse if I tried.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's pretty bad.
things are
You're
not
supposed to be a veteran.
selling.
You're supposed to be teaching them to make money, not be like you.
Wow. Wow. Now, I know these things are all long-term items, and I know that they're long tail and they'll sell in the future, but I got a little discouraged because then I keep tripping over the comic books that I bought at the estate sale.
Right.
They're all Golden Age and early Silver Age funny animal stuff. But again, you're going to list them all. They're going to be $10, $12, $15 a piece, comic after comic, and it's hard to get excited about listing those when you can go and you can list a brochure at $25.
Sure, or anything. Or you got a pile of Norman Rockwell Saturday Evening Post. Wouldn't you rather put something better on? And that's what I tell my employees. Start with the better stuff. And as the day goes on, you're tired and you're slower. Then you got the lesser stuff that we care less about, but it's still got to get on at some point. But get the important stuff on first, easy stuff after.
Well, and I think then, speaking of the last point I wanted to make, let's say that you did get that deal of, and these are the worst deals of all. You go, that's saying a lot.
Great.
You go and you get a lot of 1930s Vogue magazines, and you paid $5 each, and you're like, oh, I did wonderfully. And you get home and you start looking at them, and they're missing pages. But not all of them are missing pages. And that starts to be really annoying because you've got 25 of them. You paid $125 for. Now you have to
look for every page of every one.
Every page of every one. And I call it salvage. What can I salvage out of this? Oh, 3 of these are complete. So I'm going to list these 3 as being complete. And I'll get all my money back out of these 3.
Well, sometimes you'll price them higher, too. To say, hey, I got to make up for the losses. I'm going to price them at a higher, not the middle range, and so slower to sell at that point.
Yeah, and then you end up spending 5 hours, 4 hours, whatever, because you go through each one, and you list the complete ones, and then the incomplete ones you figure out are going to list it as, is it worth listing as incomplete as a solo issue, or are you going to lot a couple of them together? How are you going to do it? What's missing out of them? And so on. And those are the worst, because here you are trying to salvage a $125 deal and make your money back. In those cases, I think you almost are better biting the bullet, taking it, throwing it in the corner, and saying, I'll worry about this some other day. Yeah. And never worrying about it.
Unless you want to get, like for both deals, the video game manuals or brochures, whatever, and those, maybe sell the best of the best. Hey, at least I'm out of it now. I don't even care. Throw it in the corner forever for all I care. At least I didn't lose money. Got my money back. Let's move on.
Live and learn, and live to fight another day on it. Yeah. So do comment down below on what you do when you get a deal that was not as good as you thought it was. Whether it was too much volume of mediocre stuff, whether it was conditions not where you thought it was, missing pages, and so on. You buy a bunch of models and you think they're all in great shape, and you start looking and they're all missing pieces. And how do you salvage that? And so on. So do comment what your secrets are. It sounds like our secrets are you either bite the bullet and you just kind of get through it, and you say, I hate today, I hate everything about today, and salvage what you can out of it, or you just kind of put it in the corner and forget about it and move on. So just wondering how you handle that as well. Do hit the like button if you could, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.